shield that gets bursted through, you then have to deal with the health that they had before they use the ultimate as well. So she kind of acts as a brick wall that facilitates potentially quite a lot of damage with those water spears, with that CC capability. But we're going to be jumping into the game here, ladies and gentlemen. XCG up against FPX. A parry comes through onto Kakaishi's scale rush, but it's not going to be enough to win them the fight. It seems it's now a 2 versus 2. Kakaishi gets the overhold. Dog King getting taken down dangerously low. Kakaishi does get caught by the Wisp, but Water is going to get traded out, and now it's a 1 versus 1. Kakaishi up against Dongxing. Both of them do have their ultimates, but neither player, I think, wants to actually use it. They want to fully disengage and save those ultimates for another fight, as I think all of the teammates who did go down have now released their souls and are going to be making their way over to a soul altar to resurrect themselves. But let's jump over to City of Tang. DRG scrapping it out against JDG. Both teams have lost a member, and now another one goes down for the side of JDG, and DRG is going to be coming away with 3 eliminations off the rip. WFZ did get told to go and resurrect himself, so they were going to continue fighting no matter what. But they don't actually need it, and they do come away with the dub there. WBG looks as though they landed on this podium, or close to it at the very least, to try and secure the puzzle and get themselves that golden weapon. And Baige has managed to secure himself a lovely golden pole sword, a great sword in disguise, as I like to call them. But no, they're probably going to be keeping it as the pole sword. However, I have to say that now that they're playing on this patch, Greatsword has been buffed. So we might see a little bit of Greatsword being used, although that is pretty unlikely. You know, Pole Sword still has some clear advantages over Greatsword, but Greatsword being buffed so that now it has some of the things that Pole Sword had back when Pole Sword released. You know, the fact that now you can hold horizontal after doing your light attack openers with horizontal and vertical, as well as the vertical hold, means that you can create a lot more different opportunities for yourself in neutral, and you don't have to go horizontal into vertical hold every single time now. You can go horizontal into horizontal hold and then potentially look for that first stage release, or continue holding it and look for a double or triple charge release, which can be extremely devastating, as I imagine most of you guys in chat have been on the receiving end of, as have I. But it looks as though Kakaishi is going to be on the receiving end of a lot of damage coming out from the side of DRG. Unfortunately, Kakaishi doesn't have his teammates to back him up here, as they've both been sent to go res somewhere else, and he is going to be taken down. However, he does have that rebirth available, so it's not the end of the world. Not for XCG, not for the hardy enjoyers. JDG now on the Valda composition. They have picked up a kill, but they did get taken down relatively early, so they don't have a rebirth charm, and they've been looking to try and loot up, scale up, and go into the Realm of Yang. As I think that the Realm of Yang is a pretty good spot for this Valda composition to try and scale up, as you know, it's those kind of situations where Valda, when she uses her ultimate, you can just try and fight her during it, but at the same time, because it's not that long of an ultimate, you know, it doesn't last that long, you can just wait it out. However, in the Realm of Yang, waiting things out is just not really the best idea. You kind of put in a position where you're forced to fight no matter what sometimes, but you can do. It's just, if the Valda is able to force the fight and force those engagements, she can definitely get a lot done.
Yeah, and it really depends on, it's lots of situational play, right? Like, if the Valda is able to get a lot of value out of the spears, you control a huge part of the fight, compared to if you're unable to hit those spear shots, you just have a tanky hero who's got a lot of extra HP, is able to take more damage. You can use that in different situations to peel, but you are losing a lot of value if you do not manage to fully capitalize on that ultimate. We will see how it's going to play out. I'm interested to see, like, lots of these comps have like a standard combo that they try and go for, where you see as soon as the Tesla Charm hits, we're going to see the Viper ultimate come out. As soon as the Monk ults and starts getting low, we see the Kurumi ultimate coming out, the double slam with the follow-up from the Yushan. We see how this standard of play sort of starts to come out with this Valda comp. I'm excited to see how they're going to be going maybe with a Yushan locking down their opponents into sending out these Valda spears to be able to then take them down with the Fairy ultimate or something like that. As we're going to take a look now, 5-2-1 going to be sending a lot of musket and range shots onto XCG, taking Xiaonan actually pretty low here. They are going to try and push in onto this, missing the Tesla ult. Yin going to try and go for a 1.0 with the fan. We're going to see Hadi going to the below area here, trying to come in with a fully charged attack. Is going to be able to deal a lot of damage onto Pampy here, coming away with the kill. We are going to see 5-2-1 is going to end up un-ulting, or 5-2-1 is going to end up ulting and getting away, but J-Team is going to come in for a huge third party here. Pampy is going to end up getting stunned. Lee going to be able to pick that up for the team, as the rest of J-Team were hit by a Tesla Charm from 5-2-1. Yin was able to get that and try and get away, but J-Team hot on their trail. Their first kill they had picked up that game, and this is they're going to try and go for the second one here. We're able to pick up the Charm. This is basically going to be it for 5-2-1's Yin here if they don't make any mistakes, and they don't. 2 kills on the board for J-Team. Usually this is where they stop.
Let's go.
So hopefully they'll be able to come out into a Realm of Yang and come out victorious. You know, I'm always loving to see when J-Team's on top. EWG now taking some range damage from Bamboo Esports up in the northern side of this map. EWG's 9 is going to end up getting a full shield reset, trying to get that armor and health back up, as he's taking more range damage from Fat Milk, who's been a sniper in this game so far, dealing a lot of damage on to 9. EWG did take a lot of damage there. They only have 1 kill on the board, so they do have a lot of ground to make up going into this mid and end game. They could be playing a little bit more aggressive than some of these other teams to try and make up that ground, because they are in 11th place as well on that overall scoreboard. They want to be climbing up as fast as possible to try and come away with the victory. As we're taking a look as well, JJH trying to contest this buy. They want to see if they can do a little bit of shopping, but it looks like they're just going to back off here, try and go for the Realm of Yang, playing on that Transformers comp again. So they are a very, very strong Yang team when it comes down to it. And this is what we're going to see. JJH just going right into it. Perfectly placed in. It looks like they're going to be uncontested so far, but I have a small feeling that that's going to change pretty soon.
Yes, indeed. Another thing I wanted to know about the Valda ultimate, is that it's not just, she just acts as a brick wall, but as we've all experienced as well, is that the Valda can use the ultimate as that sort of, when she gets very, very low HP, and then it can turn a fight. If you focus the Valda down, she's just gonna ult. So you're forced to try and focus the other players, and if the other players are Yueshan and Feria, it can be very difficult to do something there. However, we are jumping into this Realm of Yang. FPX up against JJH. The Monk ultimate has already been used. However, Godley did take quite a bit of damage going before the ultimate did come out. However, he's got this grab onto Dongxing, that jump that has now been buffed, so that if you get that stomp confirmation onto a player, you can immediately go for the grab, and here we are. Xiao Yu is gonna get picked up as well, and he's gonna get slammed down by Godley. FPX now down a member. Godley is going to come out of that Tianhai ultimate and is going to try and heal up as much as he can, being put under some pressure by water here. Dongxing trying to come in as well. They're consolidating the damage onto the Monk, and they've managed to take him down for the moment, but both of these players are extremely low. Water desperately trying to stay alive. He's managing to do so as well, just barely managing to stay on his feet. 1 health, literally a sliver of health. He's still alive. What on earth? This fight has just been turned on his head. He's gonna get, oh my take down Chuli, and now it's a 2 versus 1. What have I just witnessed? JJH.
Oh my goodness, they just sold that.
Oh my god, FPX absolute beasts, able to turn it around. Water, my guy, what a machine, staying alive. Thing is, that was a risk, you know, like they took a huge risk to tell Dongxing to go and fully heal up and have Water just try and survive as long as he could. Like, you know, it's relatively likely to assume that he's going to get taken down, and it's just going to come down to Dongxing going in for the 1v2. But he actually stays alive, and they managed to clutch up in the, oh my lord, in the 3 versus 2. What an amazing showing coming out from FPX. But we're heading on over to WBG up against DRG, and unfortunately they are met with the brunt of the Draco Storm, and DRG is going to come away with another 3 eliminations, taking them up to 8 total.
Yeah, that's going to be very difficult to fight against, especially being a team like DRG who's so aggressive. Having that Draco Storm on them going to give them so much of a huge advantage going on there. And as we take it into this post-first realm, wow. The misplay there from the JJH team. They had the double grab, they had the elimination, they missed the follow-up slam, and the Feria wasn't able to put very much onto the board to give them a successful Realm of Yang. It was very difficult for them to come away with that victory. They had it in the palm of their hands. Fun plus Phoenix were able to push through. Like you said, the risky heal paid off in the end. As we're flipping over now, Alliance Lane investing that F3 onto Roy Shishi. We're going to see the F2 come out as well. BBE already going to put that Feria ult to use here. Lane taking a lot of damage, going to be forced to go again into the sky, getting that F ability back from the Matarial. BBE's Aizen going to reset inside the mech, trying to get some high ground to see where all these other players are. Going to send some shots onto Lane, trying to peel for Fat Milk, who is taking a decent amount of damage here. Lane going to try and replenish a little bit of that armor as he's sending these shots to try and assist his team in getting these eliminations. Fat Milk now going to pop that ultimate. Going to get hit by the Thorny Roller, though, dealing a little bit of damage, but just putting a little bit of a stutter in the play. The no ult zone is going to get popped, which is going to put BBE at a little bit of a disadvantage. Roy Shishi going to ult just outside the no ult zone here in a little bit of a weird scenario. Was able to send one of those slashes, but gets caught in the no ult zone as well. Now Alliance is both going to get caught by the Thorny Roller, sent all the way back here as he's going to try and bring it back around into the fight here as we see BBE's Roy Shishi coming away with 1.0 from the staff, and now a huge parry from Aizen is going to take Lane out, and the follow-up jumping LMBs. Oh, Thorny Roller had to come in and just say, I'm not here. I'm not done yet. I'm here. Acknowledge me. Know my presence and fear me, because I will make your games a living nightmare. EWG trying to come in on the third party as well, seeing if they can do anything about this. Gonna steal a little bit of some Soul Bloom here and try and see if they're able to loot up. It looks like BBE is gonna try and just escape as fast as possible. They do not want the smoke coming from these players.
No, indeed they don't. They managed to find that Rebirth Charm. Thankfully, it was still available in the shop, and they're able to resurrect their teammate, but now they are on the run. Although, come to think of it, they do have their cooldowns up and ready to go, but their Yue Shan doesn't have that ultimate, and only has that white armor, so I don't think they really want to take this fight. They probably could. It looks as though they're being forced to. Fat Milk's jumping in, even with the white armor. He's getting aggressive off the back of that Feria ultimate, but oh my lord, is he getting absolutely blown to pieces. Roy Hee was the one in the Feria mech, but he's the one who got exploded, and now BBE is now again on the back foot. Unfortunately, they could very easily res this, I think, considering that the zone is forcing this team to disengage. However, it could be a bit of a risky situation considering that DRG is also now waiting in the wings, see if they can pick up a cheeky elimination, but I don't think they're going to spend all that much time here. They're probably going to try and look for a different avenue of scaling into this endgame. But then again, they already have a golden armor, which is kind of insane. They're already pretty scaled. Speaking of scaling, XCG also managing to secure themselves this spirit well, getting some nice loot for themselves. JDG going into the realm of Yang. I'm not sure if they went contested here. No, they did not. They did not go contested. They had all their ultimates. And another very easy way to see if a team goes contested in the realm of Yang is if they pick up Draco Storm. It's kind of just been the tendency of teams that go uncontested in the realm of Yang. They always end up coming away with Draco Storm, as they don't need to pick up a buff that replenishes their ultimates. So JDG getting a free Realm of Yang, another free golden weapon, which I think was a golden hang sword. 2-tick on the golden pole sword as well. If he manages to find himself a blistering edge, that is going to be devastating in combination with that Valda ultimate, and even with the F3, the bubbles, the soak effect that Valda can inflict on people if she hits them with any of her water attacks. You know, they immediately get a debuff referred to as soaked, which when you have this debuff, if you take any fire damage, it instantly procs. So the damage over time that takes place when you get hit with a fire attack gets instantly popped, as opposed to it taking the full duration to do the damage. It goes instantly. It's a burst damage, and not only that, but soak also adds a damage debuff. So a person who is soaked does do slightly less damage. I'm not sure if it's 10%. I think it might be either 10 or 20%. They do less damage. However, it's mainly the burst damage, I would say, that's the valuable thing.
Can we just acknowledge the fact that there are two players right now from opposite different teams still hiding in the exact same bush together? Right now, J Team spread out over 3 different bushes.
I didn't actually realize
5-2-1
that they were on different teams.
One of those bushes as well. It looks like they're sharing their home a little bit, and it looks like Pampy is going to go out, leaving Yim to be the only member alive on Team 5-2-1, or a Cloud. My mistake.
Wait.
A-Team's ice just directly next to him.
Wait, when I saw this, I was like, I just thought that they were all on the same team. But now that you've pointed it out, what the hell am I looking at?
I have no clue how 5-2-1 have gotten away with such madness. But looks like J-Team, they could be picking themselves up a free kill here. All you got to do is swing in that bush one time. You're gonna hit him with your pulse.
I'm surprised they haven't seen him. You know, like even though you are invisible in the bush, you can still see the outline. You know, like it's like the material. It's not full stealth. You can see the slight outline and the slight sort of shimmer effect on somebody who's invisible. So I'm very surprised they haven't seen it.
Unwritten agreement to just, we're both down in the scoreboard. Let's just hang out for a second here as we flipping over to a little bit of a replay of what we were seeing going on in the Realm of Yang Alliance, fighting against TE. Lane doing a great job at getting a lot of damage off with that Zai ult. We're seeing Han doing the exact same thing. They're just going back and forth, and it's up to these other players.
Oh, no.
And Lane is going to end up going down here. Bo trying to play in the 1v3, and this is going to be a very difficult one for him, as TE going to pick up all those kills. As Alliance goes down in the Realm of Yang, I believe that Alliance is still in this game. They could have died to that Yang depletion or died trying to get those soul blooms to cleanse the Yang depletion. We'll see once we take a little look at that scoreboard in just a sec. But TE absolutely stacked on loot right now. They've got 1 golden attack jade and 1 golden melee jade. I believe that is going to be the Mortal Defiance on TE's Han.
Yep.
He's going to have a second Mortal Defiance along with the ultimate from his Z-Ping teammate, TE's LYD, as it looks like Fun Plus Phoenix is going to try and contest this Ballista Tower, holding the bottom side here, not wanting to rotate too quickly, otherwise they are going to get caught out by TE's Ballista, and these players are going to try and follow that up with a couple kills. It looks like Dongqing is going to make a little risky play, let himself get seen over on this side, as it looks like they might be running into some XCG action. going up as well. Ballista shots getting fired, as well as cannon and repeating crossbow shots. Dongqing taking this head on. Not taking too much damage, though, as these shots are mostly just getting sent off as warnings. No one's taking too much damage here. Warning shots getting sent back and forth as Water and Kakashi actually start to get pretty low here. They do still have to watch out. Leo still on that Ballista Tower, and the rest of TE are waiting in the wings, so they could capitalize on a bit of a third party here, as Cloud ended up getting out of that circle and is going to end up porting into the zone here. This could be it for him, as he is going to let the Storm take him out, and Roy Shishi is going to be the one to come away with the elimination. Flipping over now, we are seeing J-Team and DRG in the zone as well, as we're seeing a little bit of a sandstorm coming over this area. As the circle is closing 4 onto circle number 5, these players are going to be able to get some golden loot from these Rift dealers. The Hung Sword has already been purchased here, but we see a couple more Soul Jades, some golden nunchucks that could be purchased as well. Both golden armors already sold out, so these players are going to be holding on to those for dear life. And yeah, these players getting rich, you know. It's the NBPL. They got to rack in that money to keep on going.
It is actually kind of insane though that we see so many golden armors getting picked up before the final Morrises actually spawn in. You know, it's a big contrast from how it was before. You know, before the changes to Immortal War, we would see more players with better loot earlier on, but as we got to the end game, there would be only a couple teams with like truly like with the golden armors and stuff like that. But now it's different. Now we have much less loot going around at the beginning of the game. Many teams running around with white and blue armors early on, because you can't find purple loot out of anything but gold and troves anymore. And but now in the end games, we're seeing teams with loads of golden armors. We're seeing teams with 3 gold armors, you know, and it's actually insane to see how things have changed. And I think it's definitely for the better. You know, it's definitely feels better to play, I would say, because you know it's never nice to be in the early game of an Immortal War game, especially in solos, you know, and you just end up finding yourselves up against a team or a player with purple armor and purple weapon, and you're just running around with maybe a blue armor and a white or blue weapon, and it's just rough. You know, there's just such a huge advantage for the enemy player. And the same goes for trios. You know, you could run into a team that has full purple armors, and you guys have just been looting and trying to find something, but the best you got is blue and white weapons. You know, it's rough. And I think it definitely also is very, very good that now you can't just roll jades in the shop as easily as you could before. Before you could spend, I think it was 2 or 3k. I think it's more expensive in trios than it is in solos, but in trios it was 2 or 3. I think it was 3k, where you could buy a random soul jade in the shop, and it would be purple rarity minimum. Yeah, but now the shop you can't do that. You have to wait until a certain moment in the game. I'm pretty sure it has to unlock in the shop, and then you have to spend 8,000, at least in solos, to get a random jade of purple rarity minimum. You know, and I think there might even be a limit on the number of those rolls that can be done. So it's definitely a change for the better, I would say, because you know, 100%. Like so many teams, so many situations where teams would get carried by the soul jades that they just RNG'd. You know, they just gotten through sheer luck. You know, obviously you can say that their game plan was to get the money to be able to roll on the shop to try and get good jades. But at the same time, you know, you could go to the shop with 3k, roll once, and come away with Merciless Havoc or Hepta or Phoenix Blast or something. You know, you can just get lucky. And it's that kind of situation that now it just cannot happen. And I think it definitely creates a much better environment for these teams, and it supports competitive integrity, which I do really like. Another thing I wanted to note, though, is that for the last 4 minutes or so, you know, in the past, we at around 9 minutes or so, we've definitely seen that that a lot of people have been taken down, and we're usually down to around 20 to 25 players. But it reached that 9-minute mark, and we still had 27 people alive, and now it's 4 minutes and 24 seconds, and we've got 27 people still alive.
Yeah, and it's a big difference that we see in the play. I think one thing that you can see as well is lots of the times we'd see one team that went out in the mid game or that had their res to the very last moment and then end up using it at the very end. It was difficult for them to scale up in loot into that mid game and end game, being as most of the loot had already been taken. And now that there's all of these different ways to come away with this loot, you're being able, lots of these players are finding different ways to get this loot, especially with the changes, the changes with the Spirit Wells, the changes with the Realm of Yang. All of these players have at least blue armor, purple weapons, a decent amount of Jades. We're not seeing any teams stuck with gray weapons at this point. And yeah, it definitely adds to that element of competitive integrity. But getting back into the game, ladies and gentlemen, Bamboo Esports losing a member. Aizen here is going to go dangerously low, running into Fun Plus Phoenix. Or it looks like they didn't end up losing a member here. Roy Shishi just getting dangerously low. All of these players starting to take a lot of damage. Now Roy Shishi getting caught out of the mech. Going to pop that F2 or F3. My mistake, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to hold off some of these ranged attacks as everybody is getting active with as much range damage as humanly possible. We're seeing a couple of Temi ultimates come out trying to shield from these Varia ults, which have seemed to take over the entire map, as we're going to see as well the Yushan follow-ups start to appear. Takeda ultimate being popped from Fun Plus Phoenix. Dongqing, though, getting dangerously low. We're going to see another Temi ultimate getting invested, which I believe is going to be from the team Fun Plus Phoenix in the corner. JDG still holding that high ground here. They have the highest point in the map right now. BB's Aizen and EWG's XG are going to go out here. DRG on that low ground. All gold armors on DRG right now. They are set up for the win as they're starting to take a lot of damage. XCG just diminishing that gold armor by so much on every single one of these players, forcing them to try and pot up. That is the one big disadvantage to having that gold armor, is it takes so many pots to heal, and when you don't have enough time to heal that many pots, you are at a lot of a detriment to these fights. As we're seeing TE's Han now trying to get a couple of kills with the Zai ultimate in hand. TE now with trying to come away and contest that high ground. Everybody's starting to go out. JJH is godly. Low HP, trying to come away with a few grabs here, but without that Karumi, unable to regain some of the health, is going to hop into that Fairy Mech, trying to see if they can make something happen, but DRG Zai with the tactical nuke. Viper ultimate getting a kill onto Kiki here, and it looks like TE's LYD is going to pick up the kill onto NiHQ. WFC going to get the kill onto Roy Shishi. We're going to see that silence come out onto that Fairy Mech here. JJH is Chu Li getting dangerously low. Flame Z trying to come away with the 1.0 onto Flame Z. Stormform coming out. Zai getting dangerously low. Now we are going to see, oh my goodness, the Wu Chen port saving DRG for the moment, but the overhead combo, Flame Z able to come away with that. The staff charges coming out. WFZ getting parried really quickly, coming away from that with a golden staff now. JJH in a very good position to come away with the victory here, but DRG started falling back, as well as TE on the upper side of that map, and JDG trying to make something happen with that Valda. They've got one spear left, able to catch almost all of these members of DRG, and TE coming away and capitalizing off of that are going to get the kill onto Han. XCG Shoutdown as well going dangerously low. TE's Leo going to come away with the kill, using that Dreadful Whale from the dagger on that bottom side to put in a lot of damage. TE's Han going to come away with the kill with the V2 from the Zai. And coming away with another kill, it's going to be JJH's Chu Li. JDG's one of the last remaining members of JDG is going to go down. ZDI, TE's Han, JJH still in full control of this fight, but they are getting dangerously low. It looks like ZDI with full HP might be able to come away with this. TE's Han on the bottom side, going to have that Mortal Defiance proc for him. JJH is godly going to try and ult, but it's going to go out early.
No.
Out, and it looks like JJH, TE, and JJH battling it at that very end. What a phenomenal end circle coming out there.